Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and in the studio, joined as always, is Mr. Taylor.
Hello.
Hey, it's been a long time. Where have you been?
I've been partying up, brubs.
I know, yeah. Do you know what? Last week, it wasn't even a fact that we had a week off.
Yeah.
And, but it was because Taylor was out partying.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and he cancelled on you. Cancelled on you.
Sorry,
all.
people, but you know, sometimes I need to go out and let down my gorgeous hair.
His lovely locks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had a good time though, I heard.
Oh yeah. It was,
so go on, give us the business. Come on, what was it?
It's 100th anniversary of the company that I work with.
Oh yeah. So 100 years.
Yeah, 100 years being a company.
Oh well, congratulations to the Joes. The average Joes at Joe Davis.
Okay.
Being 100 years old this year. So congratulations. So well, you had a good time then, yeah?
Yeah.
I've been
good night, man.
To be honest, I was quite tired when I got home on I got home on Friday and had been mooching around quite a lot. I feel like I've been on a tour of UK this year, the last couple of weeks.
That's true.
I know it's been funny, but it's so like the week before the week before the Saturday last week.
Yeah.
I was like had to go to. It was actually quite exciting. I ended up in the middle of England. I had to get to a location for my job, and I ended up trying to get to this building, like a castle. Right? Okay. No transport links whatsoever, apart from the closest you could get to was this little town. So you get to the little town, and then there's like
a walk 20 miles.
Got a walk from here, so it's like 3 miles or something. Did that, then came home, had to go to Glasgow. Went to Glasgow, was there for a day, flew to London from Glasgow.
Nice.
Ended up on Whitechapel, stayed in Whitechapel, which,
nice.
as we all know, was where the notorious Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you see Jack?
No, I didn't, but I went past I did go past a chippy called Jack the Chipper.
Oh, I like it. Nice.
And a barber's called Jack the Clipper. So you know what I mean? Obviously taking advantage of the local history and, you know, using it to their advantage.
Oh, yeah.
But then this week, been to Bristol, which is a lovely town, and I love Bristol.
Yeah, I like Bristol.
A bit of Birmingham.
Yeah.
And I'm back home for the weekend. So we can do a bit of podcasting.
Oh, yeah. So, I had a shit week this week.
Why? Oh, you and me both, mate, because you're going to tell me that you're back.
Yeah, I've got my back in.
I did mine back in from all this mooching around, and on Tuesday I was like a bit laid up.
Oh, I just got off the sofa, that's what I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So what?
And it was like, what the fuck?
So it was literally
2 days I was bent over.
Too lazy, that's what it is. He was like sat on his ass for a bit, and then he stood up.
Oh, I've just been working on it, just trying to... standing up straight's just been a nightmare. It's only like the first day that I managed to actually stand up straight without no.
Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thank you. Well,
to entertain the masses.
I try my best for the fans, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
For the fans.
Well, thank you to all the fans for listening. I've had loads of messages over the last couple of weeks about the podcast and, you know, just general kind of like, you know, liking the show and stuff.
Yeah, we love it, man.
I've got a few, when we get into the shout-outs a bit later on, got a couple of bits and pieces there, a few props for the peeps.
Yeah.
So, that's all good. So, I didn't actually give you a name this week.
No, you didn't, did you?
Yeah, did I? So, I'll think of something. I'll think of something to call
for next week. You do know that
by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay then.
Even if it's just twat.
Yeah, it generally is.
No, it'll be reet.
Yeah.
So, so has anything like kind of been other than that? Anything else been happening in the world? We've been away for 2 weeks. Well, it's been 2 weeks since the last episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, while we're just chit chatting, we'll be bringing back the extra episodes midweek.
Yes.
They're coming back.
Yeah, they are.
And obviously it's Halloween coming up.
It is.
So
and Brexit.
Oh, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming up this Well, will it be Brexit though? Because considering I've just seen there on the news about an possible extension, but this is minute by minute changes. So by the time this is released, it'll probably be something new. So you never know. But yeah, Halloween coming up, so that means the episodes might become a little bit spooky. Which tonight's episode is kicking off that actually. We're a bit late on the old Halloween front, but it's all good. We're going to be, it's October. It's time.
Got to be Halloween.
Well, it's got to be Halloween, but it means spooky time. Halloween's round the corner, so it means we get around the campfire and we swap ghost stories.
Nice.
Yeah, this week we've found some of the most infamous and the most famous ghost encounters around.
I got a smasher on this as well.
Oh, have you? Yeah, I've got a few, and it's we've got a fair few little ghost spooky stories. So
something to chill your bones.
Yeah, definitely. And I think next week we're going to have a bit of an in-depth episode. On a bit of a spooky one as well. Yes. So something to look forward to. So so should we dive into the news?
Yeah, why not?
Okie doke, right. Okay. It's time for the news. It's the news. Yeah. So, what's been happening in the news this week? I've kind of been trying to keep an eye on stuff, but I've been flying around here, there, and everywhere, and I've not there's a lot of stories that I have found, but come on, I want you to give me the skinny on what's actually happening with this Brexit stuff this week.
Oh, yes.
Because I've not been paying attention. I'll be honest. I've seen a bit the other morning.
Yeah.
I don't want to bore people too much, but just give us a gist so it can keep me up to date.
Okay. Well, the gist is today, which is a Saturday. Parliament.
First Saturday Parliament. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were calling it Super Saturday, like it was a fucking American football match or something. Like,
yes.
Welcome to Super Saturday, where the Parliament is open for the first time ever on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Fucking so what? They have to work on a Saturday. Do you know what I mean? All everyone else does.
It's because we Boris over the last couple of days, which good man, he got a deal through, which Europe agreed to.
Yeah, I know, but it was like I said to you earlier. There was a thing on Twitter I saw, and it was like it's like that double standard of a woman goes in and gives an idea in the board meeting, and she gets. Don't be daft.
Yeah.
Go and stand in the corner and look pretty. And then a guy says it 10 seconds later and it's like pats on the back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think what the percentage was you telling me 90% of this deal was Theresa May's deal?
Yeah, basically 10% of it is changed basically around the backstop. But the way it's coming out at the minute is it's worse than Theresa May's deal.
Well, to be fair, I could see that coming. Because it's a case of that Boris is just trying to get us out of there now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like he's kind of got he's on the back foot. He's on the back foot basically because he's got to kind of do what the European Union say now.
Yeah, and if they turn around and say you got to, we'll give you an extension of 2 years, we've got to take it. But if they turn around and say you've got an extension of 100 years, we've got to take it. Basically,
yeah, but that's basically saying you've got 100 years to sort it out.
Yeah,
but
that
you
means
could
we'd be
sort
still
it.
under
But
the
no,
rule.
but you could sort it out next week.
Yeah, but the chances of that are.
Or you've still got to pay fucking 37 billion in breakup fees.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And all the rest
Plus
of it.
If
and
this
he's
deal
agreed
goes through.
Has he agreed to pay that?
It looks like he's agreed 39 billion.
What a knob.
Plus, if this deal goes through, we'll have to pay an extra 7 million. If our fisheries won't be saved either, and also that if this is one of the baddest points I've ever heard, but if Europe goes bankrupt, guess who fits the bill?
Go on.
Us.
Why?
Exactly.
We seem to fit the bill for everything, though. That's the piss take. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
There's a lot of daft stuff.
I wouldn't mind, but it's just like, right.
There'll be no Irish border. Basically, the border will be between England and Ireland.
It's like we should have. Was there no such thing as prenups? We should have signed a prenup before we went into this because, you know, literally it feels like we're getting our asses spanked. We've just come out of a messy divorce and they've happened to get the shit-hot lawyer in town who's taking us for every penny.
It's not even a divorce. This is the talk before the divorce.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This is where, you're splitting up your CD collection, basically, and you're like, well, what did you buy this DVD or did I buy it or is it a joint purchase?
Tell you what, go on the computer, copy it, and I'll take a copy. You take a copy.
No, yeah, well, that's fair play. We get, and that works with a CD, but or a DVD maybe, but without breaking copyright laws. But it's hardly the same, is it?
No.
So you know what I mean. It's like these talks before the main shit.
Well, this was supposed to actually...
It's only just begun.
Today was supposed to be everyone voting, the MPs voting on if we can take the deal or not.
Take the deal.
But now it looks like it's either Monday or Tuesday, and I don't think we should take the deal now.
All right, fair. Well,
I would have rather had Theresa May's one, to be honest. But even then, we lose our sovereignty.
And everybody was giving Theresa so much shit. Yeah, and I think, like I said this from the start, I mean, I don't like any of the politicians, really, but at the moment especially, but the fact is, it was like no one really even gave her a chance, and it's like I said...
Oh, you're joking, aren't you?
No, mate, she went in with that deal, so what changed so much that the European Union have finally said, okay?
Never, ever in the history of Parliament has a deal ever had under, what was it? 250 votes.
But is that because they just didn't like her?
No, because they didn't like the deal because of the backstop, and because they weren't saying legal stuff or lawful stuff. They were basically saying, we might do this, we might do that, we might do this, we might do that. No, we want legal status to say, if we take this deal, then legally you'll do this, or lawfully you'll do that.
Yeah,
but and it's still the same way. But like I said, this is just the prenup before the deal. You know what I mean?
No, prenups come before the before they actually they should, if a prenup sort of thing before they get married.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they should have argued the fact that in the eventuality of us breaking up or wanting to leave the European Union, but with that being an option from the start.
Actually,
do you know what I mean?
This legally and lawfully it states that Halloween, 31st October, we leave. Deal or no deal. Now,
yeah, exactly.
It's gone through Parliament saying that...
so what happened to the no deal leave?
Because of the Ben Act turned around and basically says, if they haven't got a deal by the 19th, well, at 11 o'clock today...
Can I just ask one question?
Write my letter.
Who the fuck is Ben?
Ben, it was one of the MPs...
So how come he gets his?
Hillary Ben's.
So why is this?
Son, I think it was.
So how come this is like impacting things so much? Because generally I don't know this, and
because
maybe
Labour and Lib
people
Dems don't want us to leave.
Know this as well. So
it's because Labour and Lib Dems don't want us to leave because they have connections and they're talking to Europe all the time. And they admitted they're talking to Europe all the time, and Europe doesn't want us to leave. They're going to do exactly the same what they did with Hungary. They're going to do exactly what they said with Ireland. Ireland had 3 referendums. Hungary had to have 2. So then that and so realistically, can Hungary do it again? Can they go for another referendum and best out of 3? No, because if it happens over here, then I tell you, it'll probably start off a civil war in this country. I'm telling you.
I tell you what, actually,
along.
I've got to talk about something, right? Whilst we're getting on to the fact of kind of like civil unrest, right? Now, I've been mooching around, like I say. Yeah. Now, one thing that did stop me from getting where I needed to be this last couple of weeks was the Extinction Rebellion, right?
Yeah, okay.
Now, I've said this before about protesting, and I said, be safe out there, don't be stupid, don't get yourself in shit. These places, these means, you get permission, you can do these things without being a menace to the fucking society. Now I care about the planet, right? I actually pride myself on the fact that my carbon footprint is quite low. Do you know what I mean? I'm not wasteful. I cycle. I don't kind of burn fucking fossil fuels and all the rest of it. Yeah, like whatever the case is. Yeah, right. I like to think that impact wise, I'm not very impactful. Right. Yeah. So even in meat consumption, there are. Yeah. Okay. So when
that's a false
I get somebody having a go at me. Yeah. Saying I don't care about the planet. When I'm in a rush, I've got to catch a train or something. You know, train is the most efficient way of traveling in terms of that. But yet, these people take it upon themselves to disrupt the general public. Yes. Yeah. Right. They're climbing on trains. Right. Now, London Airport. Yeah. Right. I did happen to have to fly. Yeah. Right. One occasion. Yeah. Like I say, I had to fly from Glasgow, but it was a time restraint thing. Yeah. Right. And the protesters had kind of said they were going to try and rush London Airport, right? Yeah. So when I got there, it was wall-to-wall police. Yeah. Now, the police said that they wouldn't be able to get in if they didn't have a boarding pass, but yet they was just buying tickets, getting into the terminal, and then just trying to ground planes by standing up on the plane and not letting them take off.
I'd be more frightened of the police than the protesters, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, they did actually say, because I came out to see to see where I was going. I thought, should I get the bus or the tube?
Oh, that's not good for your carbon footprint.
What, buses are electrics now, most of them. So like you get. So I'm thinking whether to get the bus or the tube. Right. What's going to get me there quicker or more? To the location I need, because I don't like London. It's kind of hard to get about.
Yeah.
And so I've gone to enter the terminal again, and I got stopped, and I was like, no, I'm just been in, and I've come back out. I'm going to get the tube. Yeah. Right. So there was a bit of kind of like they were asking questions, and there was a presence there, definitely. Yeah. But my point is, right, that how is kind of being this way to the public,
because it gets on the news.
But it gets on the news, but it's
saves advertising money. Everything needs to be advertising. So like, they haven't the money, so the only way they can do it.
So they're right. All right, then. Well, it's hypocritical for a start, because I'm not being funny. So they're gluing themselves to places.
Yeah, they're stopping.
Right? How do you think that glue? Do you think that glue's made in an environmentally friendly manner?
Oh, no, and I bet the horses weren't too bad either.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they do it that way anymore. But what I'm getting at is, using toxic products, right, on Mother Earth by gluing yourself to the earth or to wherever I'm not thinking it, but that's not my point. What I'm saying is, the big point is that, it's unnecessary. Yeah, go and protest at the places that you should be protesting at, right, by doing it in like tube stations and train stations and airports and fucking basically people need to get around.
I've got a good analogy for this one.
It just doesn't. It winds me up.
Something Tupac said once. It's on one of his albums, actually. Right. So if
people might not agree with me, but to be honest, I just don't care, because it's gone too far now. They've gone to a point where it's you're pushing the general public, where it's going to become. It's going to kick off, and people who are just trying to get about are going to end up. They're going to come to blows with these other people, and it's going to cause a riot.
But let's say you're a guy on the streets, and you're at a door.
What did Tupac say?
And you're in a hotel, and you're at a hotel door. You knocked on the door. The person said, "No, I haven't got anything. Sorry, blah blah, whatever. I'm not feeding you today." Okay, thank you. Go away. You come back and you keep going back and you keep getting negative stuff. You're going to end up getting frustrated that, like he said, at the end of the day, I'm going to kick down your door and I'm going to take something because I need it to live.
But it's not the point, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I agree with the cause. That's the thing. Yeah, it's like, I do agree with them.
If they didn't do this, then I don't suppose we wouldn't see as much about it.
What has it achieved?
More people are talking about it. There you go.
They're talking about it, but they're talking about it in a negative way.
So it's achieved something.
No, but it's not. It's not. It's brought them negative sort of... negative press, if anything.
But negative press goes further along than good press.
No, because they're trying to achieve a positive thing. This is the thing. They're not trying to achieve something that's... Right, okay. So they're all being dickheads and running around doing daft stuff, right? Yeah, right? They get in the news, right? That's not going to... That's not going to help get things done, is it?
Well, it seems to be doing.
How is it?
Because you got that young girl going to the UN.
Fair, yeah, and then that's exactly how you should do it.
Exactly, yeah, but they wouldn't have gone that. They wouldn't have been able to get that far if they didn't have the publicity.
What? So she was. So what you're saying? She was a little patsy that they threw out there to try and
she's
get.
Definitely a patsy.
Well, I'm not bothered, right? But the fact is, yeah, right. She had a right. She had a message she was passionate about, right?
Yeah.
She wrote a letter.
Yeah.
She went down the correct channels, right, to the point where she was heard. Right,
but guaranteed, if she weren't on the news, it wouldn't have got further.
Do you know what made more impact? What? Yeah, fair enough, but that was a positive message.
Yeah,
it was a positive way of doing it. Right.
Yeah.
Now, 600 people arrested. Yeah. Right, on the Extinction Rebellion. Yeah. Right. So, what did that achieve apart from getting him a criminal record?
Publicity.
It doesn't all come down to publicity. We all know the planet's fucked.
Yeah, but we've known this for years, but no one's done anything about it. And the only people who can do that about it is when the people get together and get the politicians to do what you want.
I'm not disputing that things need to change. Yeah, right. And I'm not saying. Yeah, no, because you're kind of siding with the Extinction Rebellion.
Don't get me wrong. No,
yeah,
I'm with you, but I'm also thinking on their wavelengths of how to fight against the
totally,
system.
Yeah, right. But it's not fighting against the system, and it's a time when there's enough unrest as it is. Do you know what I mean? We've got a lot going on in the country. Right.
Yeah, right. But if you don't interrupt the people's flow of their daily lives, then they're not going to, like everyone's realised for years, they're not going to turn around and go, know what?
No.
They're getting people to talk about it.
Getting people to talk about it is one thing, yeah, and we're talking about it now. Yeah. But talking about it is one thing.
It's one of the steps.
Actually, kind of. No, it's not a good way of doing it. If you're smart, yeah, right, you'll think of a way of bringing it to the public attention, without having to be that way. Do you know what I mean?
How many years have they tried that? How many years have we been talking about this?
No, that's not. Well, yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? And nothing has changed.
Well,
you know what I mean? Nothing has changed. Well, don't get me wrong, it has changed. But we haven't seen the effects as much, and more bullshit product comes out that probably does more damage.
That's bollocks, right? Because all right then, people look at it as it's a 5-minute fix, right? These people are looking at it like doing this is going to change the world. It's not, right? The way it's been going this has been
on the time
decades, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about. So you're saying that nothing's been done and people don't listen?
Oh no, yeah,
right? That's a load of shit. Yeah, because there's a lot of progress and there's a lot of people out there.
Enough.
There's a lot of people out there fighting for change in a correct way. In the last 2 decades, we've made advancements in electricity, in solar powered, in wind turbines,
but not enough.
Well, mate, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, but do you really think them industries get all the big money?
I can't. I
don't know. I mean, this is the thing that it works on where the big money goes, and the big money doesn't really go to that way. It goes to the oil barons and the fucking, the wheeler dealers.
Right then. Well, in that case, right, no matter. Right, all right then. Well, so you've proven my point. You've just proven my point, right? Because you're saying, right. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try and change it, right? And no matter how hard these people protest and stick themselves to railings, and chain themselves up and do all the rest of it, nothing's going to change because big money, won't let it, right? So
because they'll lose out.
Well, there you go. So you've proven my point by saying that this whole thing is a pointless effort.
Yeah, but the only thing that can change big money, which should have done generations ago, and the people who are under it.
Well, unfortunately,
if we refuse to use certain things, it can't
That'll
work.
Take the whole fucking population, right? Now,
so get together. What's fucking going on?
Well,
we've got the time. We've got the communication now. We've got the time to do it.
Just shut that down.
Do it. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Well, this isn't going like the way I expected it because, to be fair, right. I feel like I'm just being, for fuck's sake, man.
Well, no.
So you are right. Yeah. Like, I do agree with what you're saying. Yeah, right. Because it's fucked up. Yeah. Because it gets me angry. Yeah. Because I actually agree with the cause. Right. Yeah. And I agree with what you're saying, because everything you're saying is actually what had happened. You know what I mean? It builds up and you end up getting to a point where you are, you know, everybody's fucking talking about it, but you need to do it in that smart way, like I was saying. Because even though people are talking about they're not talking about the climate issues, they're talking about them, and they're talking about them in a negative way, which it's not saying, oh yeah, aren't they amazing? They've got such a just cause and they're so righteous for doing it. Yeah. They're saying, no, they're idiots. They're fucking disruptive. They're being a nuisance. Yeah. They're putting public lives in danger because they're fucking jumping on trains and stuff and like getting on roofs of fucking wings of planes. They're not talking about the positive. They're talking about the negative. Yeah. So, you know, even though I agree with what they're doing, I still think the whole thing's been an absolute fucking circus. Yeah.
I totally agree. As you know, I don't even think it's much our involvement. A little bit, yeah.
I think there's too much going on in this country at the minute for them to even fucking pay attention to them. Because, like, you know what I mean? It's like they're not even, you know, taking the Brexit thing seriously, never mind.
I think it's one of them things where the people are down. I'm going to try and you know, try and get people on our side by, you know, give them all this. Oh, come with us. We can change the world.
If we can think up a way of doing, you know, trying to get that message out there, we will fucking put the message out there as best we can about fucking trying to be less wasteful and, you know, helping the environment.
It's always better to be less wasteful.
But the thing is, it's like, you know, it takes somebody a bit, you know, who came up with the idea, like, let's go and do this, you know, all this business. So, you know what I mean? Somebody must have planted that fucking first initial idea about let's go and, you know,
I think it was about to. It was going to happen at one point or another. It happens every.
Well, no, because the problem is, right, there was a Mark Thomas. If you don't know Mark Thomas, he's a political comedian.
Brilliant.
Recommend you check him out. He's on YouTube. Some of his older stuff's on YouTube, and it's
definitely
the Mark Thomas comedy product, which used to be on Channel 4.
Yeah, now I want to come back, man.
Oh, he's prime for Mark Thomas to come back at the moment.
Yeah,
he's a political satirist as well. So you know, but like he's a comedian.
I think he does a bit on Channel 4 actually, on Radio 4.
He used to, but he does still do radio stuff. Yeah. But I seen him actually at Glastonbury doing this on the left field stage, right? And he was talking about the right to protest, and he actually did a series on the TV about it as well.
Yeah.
And the whole series was where he had to go and get permission to protest because basically they were having a picnic outside Houses of Parliament.
Yeah.
And it had a peace sign, as I recall, on the cake.
Yeah.
And the police came over and said, sorry, guys, but you're going to have to move on. You can't protest here. There's, rules against protesting on the green here. And they were like, what you're on about? We're having a picnic. Yeah. He's like, pointed at the cake. Said, that's a protest. Do you know what I mean?
Cake.
That's what they said, yeah. So the fact was that he started taking advantage of this and started saying, all right, well, I'm going to go to the police station. Found out that he could apply for permission to protest.
Yeah.
So, but like, you know, he started protesting loads of just random stupid stuff. I think he got a Guinness Book of Records for it, actually, for most protests performed in one day.
Yeah, like, in the some law, like you can hang with like a protest sign for like 5 minutes or something, but then you've got to move on.
Well, I'm not sure. I think you still need to get permission from the local constabulary.
Didn't he do that? Didn't he get a load of permission?
Oh yeah, he bombarded them with it, and he encouraged everyone else to as well. So I think there was like protests for like protect surrealism, or like, you know, feed hungry trolls under bridges.
Keep our trees green.
Stupid stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, but it was, you know, it inundated him with paperwork.
Yeah.
And the point I'm trying to make is, when he went out to protest one day, there was about 4 other protests going on in the Parliament Square that same day.
Yeah.
So it was anti-fascism protests and all the rest of it. There was but it kicked off, right? Is the point, right?
Yeah.
So other police constabularies were drafted into the city.
Yeah.
To protect, or to help.
Yeah, separate,
police it. Yeah,
separate them and
so
batter him in the corner.
Well, the thing was, right, he ended up getting moved on because he was saying, and he's saying, well, no, I've got permission. Yeah. But the point was that the police who were out of the city didn't know the law. So, do you know what I mean? And a lot of these police are drafted in, so, do you know, it's like, they don't know the exact law for that part of the city. Do you know what I mean? So you don't know what trouble you're getting in is what I'm getting at. Do you know what I mean? You don't know if you're going to end up getting arrested or worse because, you're trying to make a point. So please don't take it as I'm being anti, Globe. Yeah. But, it's one of them.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my views on it. But the way I see the reason why they're doing it is to make more of a fuss, to make people talk.
I think they just need to come up with a smarter way of doing it.
I do, but if the avenues what you're supposed to do are closed and doesn't, and you can't do anything about it, then you've got to sometimes move an extra step forward higher than you should be doing.
Yeah, fair.
But,
okay. Well, we've talked about this a bit longer, so we'll move on. We've got a couple of bit of stupid, crazy stories coming up. Got a bit of entertainment news and a bit of NASA.
Oh yeah.
And then we've got some ghost stories coming up a bit later on. So, yes. So I've got a story here. This is a decades old Australian unsolved mystery.
All right.
It's been reopened. And the family attached have been now waiting for key clues to come back.
Oh,
so I think it was like basically an unsolved murder,
right?
Or unsolved kind of mystery death.
Yeah.
And because it happened in 1948.
Yeah.
That DNA testing wasn't available.
No, it wasn't.
So now they've been given permission to exhume the body. Basically this unknown male is a bit of a John Doe.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to try and get they reckon that there could be some DNA clues on there. So I think it's quite interesting because obviously back in 1948 the technology wasn't available.
No, just finished on it really.
So despite the immediate attention around the case at the time, no missing persons reports were ever filed, and the body was never officially claimed. So present-day DNA testing of hair taken from the inside of, the autopsy, autopsy cast, can be updated, and they can kind of try and identify identify him.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a widow of a man close to the investigation who believes that the Somerton man could be a close relative to her. So
she must have been putting connection somewhere along the line there to say that then.
All right, okay. So basically, there's a possibility that he was an unidentified spy, and also possibly this woman's father.
Oh, what? So she's saying Daddy's a spy.
Yeah, Daddy was a spy, and obviously they couldn't be identified when he was found dead.
Could have been.
And she's saying it could be that, but they can't tell until they've done this DNA testing. So we'll let you know anyway. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
As soon as anything comes back. Talking about another story that we've covered that there's been a bit more updates on. Do you remember I was talking about the 6-year-old who could be 22 or 23 years old?
Yeah.
She's materialised. She disappeared.
Oh.
But she's been found now. She's
in
been
the creche.
She's been actually adopted by a vicar and his wife, who were saying that she is a little girl. She's totally a little girl, and they don't know what all the fuss is about. But the judges have ruled as well that the fact that obviously if she is 22, then even the fact that they left her alone because they abandoned her and moved to Canada, didn't they? Right. So they're saying now if she was left, she was still in their care, and she still had a sort of, like a debility.
The care of duty.
They had the care of duty of her because she was obviously, had issues.
Yeah.
And still needed caring for.
Yeah.
So by abandoning her, they're still being prosecuted for the thing. But it was like the fact that she was trying to kill him and poison him and fucking all the rest of it. Still a bit freaky.
Yeah, I can't believe they ain't pressing charges of attempted murder.
Well, if you've not heard about the story, check it out. It's the story of Nadia, the 6-year-old who or 22-year-old, depending on who you ask, basically.
Yeah.
So anything you'd like to talk about?
I think she might be a 55-year-old man, actually.
I know, called Steve.
Yeah.
Big Steve.
Big Steve, yeah.
Or Little Steve.
Well, no, Big Steve, innit?
Oh, yeah, the irony.
Yeah. Well, I got an interesting one on an update on Assange in
Julian.
Yeah, in prison.
Go on.
Right. Well, apparently there is.
Has he had a shave?
No. Apparently, there has been a Spanish private tech corporation who've been spying on him.
Oh, fucking hate spies.
When he was in the embassy, and they even spied on Pamela Anderson in the toilet.
Really?
And he was like, really? He was like, everyone...
What was Pamela Anderson doing there?
Well...
is this just on his resume? No, it's like people I've spied on, famous people I've spied on. Julian Assange, Pamela Anderson on the toilet.
She might be his lover, what some people are saying.
Fuck off.
No, honestly, she's a big supporter of him.
Isn't Pamela Anderson sucking off Julian Assange?
It might be, yeah. That's what the rumours were, but, she hasn't, as far as I'm aware, she hasn't denied
what's Tommy Lee? Do you know Tommy Lee Jones has got his own, whiskey distillery now, I think.
Has he?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'll have to Google that because I might be making it up, but I'm pretty sure most of them. I think most of them end up brewing some sort of liquor. I think.
Well,
sorry, I'm going off topic, but I think George Clooney's got a gin factory.
Yeah. I
think they're all going down them roads. So go on, crack on.
So apparently this Spanish firm had been spying on him for quite a bit of time, and the shocking part is that all this breaking the rules of this woman
breaking the law
run over the lad.
Well, she shouldn't fucking do it.
Yeah,
right. And I'm getting angry tonight.
Political asylum.
What
was it? Political, not asylum. She had basically cover, and she went back to America.
She had asylum.
Was it asylum?
Yeah. Well, if you get protected in another country, you've got asylum, haven't you? Assange had asylum in the embassy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, basically, they've sent the information to the CIA, all of it.
Right. Okay.
And he's looking at 175-year charge.
Even the photos of Pamela Anderson on the toilet.
Yeah, everything.
Fucking hell.
Everything. Even one of the highest judges in the land, who was having a private conversation, was spied upon.
It's crap, that, isn't it? It's like, how do people sleep at night doing that stuff?
Well, why are you going to give it to the CIA?
Well, no, actually, to be fair, I mean, it's like if he's being hired to, if he's a private eye, then that's his bread and butter.
Well, it was a corporation. It was a firm that did it.
Gotta make a living.
Well, yeah, but it breaks so many rules that America couldn't even use it. So why have you passed it across?
Well, they've obviously kind of got some sort of...
Why are you spying in the first place? In the embassy, there's one rule.
No, fair. You know what I mean? But how has he got access to spy in the first place?
Well,
if it's
it's
supposed to be in a fucking
might have been the old plumber,
government facility, or maybe it's an inside job and it was somebody who. Oh, do they know who's passing?
Well, the embassy didn't realise that there was cameras and microphones in there.
Right. So, what, in the embassy?
Yeah.
And they didn't know that?
No.
Fuck, I don't know. It's like
so there's so many rules that are broke. This
is
company
the thing.
needs to be
Maybe
done for it.
potentially it's like, if you're, everybody wanted to know what was going on when he was in the Ecuadorian embassy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but who's got the right to actually know?
But the media. Well, look at the media. What about when they were bugging getting into everyone's phone messages? It's like, at the end of the day, when at some point
and some
in
of them
that
got
10-year period, somebody's gone in there and put bugs in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you'll always be bugged, especially now. Everything that's to do with Wi-Fi is bugged, basically.
Yeah. In fact, there's, nothing secure. And I think that's a big problem with, the internet and how clever people are getting on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, in 10 years' time, are we,
Yeah, what's going to fucking happen?
What's going to be, we'd hope that
justice
there'd be a
system will be
better
gone.
kind of security structure.
Tell you that, I reckon the justice system will be gone by then. Because with all this technology of faces and voices and stuff, you could put anyone anywhere.
You could now it's two-way, isn't it? Because you could deep fake people and put people in positions where they weren't.
Yeah, or but even also, items.
You can catch people in positions they are.
Yeah.
Because, you're on camera 24/7. You say communications earlier about like what we were talking about, the extinction thing.
Yeah.
But communications is great, when it works for you.
Yeah.
But
it's bad when it doesn't.
It's bad when it's used against you.
That's why it's a Pandora's box, man.
So, what you were saying there about the fact that, communications it's a key.
One of the key aspects of basically us fighting back and getting our rights.
But that's the thing, they shut you down when they thingy, but like
on
the other hand, like, it can be used to...
Yeah, it can be used to create good as well as create evil, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's best of both worlds, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And we're just living in the grey area where there's shit and scum and great and happiness.
Yeah. So what's your original point?
Well, basically, that the embassy was spied upon, and it's broke you don't realise how many rules it's broken, and yet I can see this company getting away with it.
Right. Fair enough. I just think it's
more
Big Brother is coming to the point where it's just ridiculous now. I mean, it's like you on camera 24/7.
Yeah,
it is
within an hour. We're in the
panopticon.
Yeah,
it's
fucking stupid in our price. But then again, in other ways, it's a good thing.
Well, I've got a bit of a lighter story here anyway.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. I've got a couple. So it's National Goth Day today.
Oh,
if you're goth.
What, like Luke?
What? Luke? No, which? Who was the first goth?
Who was the first goth?
Luke or Matt?
Oh, Matt, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's actual Matt, Gothic. The goths, moody goth.
Oh,
people.
the mooders. Fucking hell, the mooders.
Yeah. So So the story is who was the first goth? So goths. Obviously, if you don't know what a goth is. It's like an emo, but a bit moodier. Yeah. Like, well, I used to go to rock clubs where, they had a goth room where, like, the goths went and they listened to, like, The Cure and stuff.
I never got into The Cure myself.
I like The Cure. I used to like a bit of The Cure.
I like a few of their songs now where I'm older, but I'm still...
So, you were saying, like, goth goes way back. And I was saying, like, obviously architecture and stuff being a period... Do you know what I mean? Like what was it? What would you say? Like Art Deco or something like that. And obviously buildings are built in a Gothic style.
Yeah, and there's a lot of churches with Gothic stuff as well.
But like the generally Goths kind of didn't really come out till like the 60s, late 60s.
Yeah,
and then they started kind of coming big in the 80s. Like,
but that's true.
Still true, quite, but I mean, like goths today,
like,
there's loads of different kind of subsidiaries of goth.
That is so true.
Like they wear some people who wear like neon. Do you know what I mean? Like cyber goths.
Yeah.
And then you've got your regular goths.
Yeah.
Then you could even go as far as saying like emos. Like, do you know, like a modern sort of like
a mix in between,
a millennial goth.
Oh yeah.
Do you know where they're a bit kind of like where like Hello Kitty and Pink and stuff, but they consider themselves a bit goth.
Yeah, but then won't you go into sort of manga kind of area as well then?
This is it, man. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like it's so kind of thingy, but I think a true goth
mix and match.
A bit of true goth is a bit of somewhat, you know.
Yeah, what
Generation X? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like from the 80s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a bit kind of like Robert Cure from the Robert Smith from the Cure, even like.
But I think I've seen quite a few nowadays.
Yeah, there's it's still kind of going. I think there's as a movement. Well, like I say, it's World Goth Day today, and people have been out, celebrating
Gothing it up.
Yeah, so I think the first actual kind of mention of goth was by a guy, a critic called John Sticken?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he coined the phrase goth rock back in 1967.
Yeah.
But the first mention of goth was in a book way back in the day.
17% prior.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was around about 1764.
Yeah.
And it was written in a book about a castle. And so that was probably the first mention of it.
Yeah.
Being kind of, I think it was probably a Dracula story or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like something.
Yeah, well, probably like,
someone tried to mix it,
wouldn't it? Because it's like this sort of like creepy castle.
Yeah.
So like that's when the first mention of it was the word goth back in the 1700s.
Yeah, then they used it again and again and again.
I'm not going to say Happy Goth Day. I'm going to say have a Gothy Goth Day.
A Gothy Goth Day?
Have a Gothy Goth Day.
Oh, have a Gothy Goth Day then.
Thank you. Right, yeah. So have you got anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Nothing at all.
Oh, have you heard about the
I've got a
new space station being planned?
We'll go into NASA news in a minute because I've got a couple more stories.
Yeah.
Did you hear this one about the deceased man who pulled a prank on the funeral party?
Oh, this was funny as fuck.
This was hilarious, right?
When you first told me about this, I thought, you know what, you sicko, how dare you, why are you doing this, you horrible cunt, and then you showed me the video and I laughed my bollocks off.
Yeah, because to be fair, it's like I've always had this sort of like thought about, having a bit of a prank on my funeral. Yeah. And I've thought spring-loaded coffin maybe, or do like... I've actually thought of this, having a bit of like a laugh about it, because you know what I mean. The people want to remember you how you are. Do you know what I mean, or how you were? Yeah. And if you were a funny guy, or you tried to kind of,
see you getting flung with your eyes popping out when you
had a bit of a bit of a sense of humour. Yeah. You wouldn't want to be be remembered in a sad way.
But you don't want
to be remembered in a funny way. So this guy, he told his son about it, but he'd put a tape recorder in the coffin, and just as the ceremony was winding down and everyone was kind of just like mourning.
Yeah.
There was a knock on from the inside of the coffin saying, "Hello, let me out.
Get me out there.
It's dark in here." Is that the vicar in Kinnear?
It was funny, man.
Oh yeah, so he's an Irish guy.
Yeah.
You can find the clip online, but Shay Bradley had the last laugh at his own funeral with a pre-recorded audio message in which he can be heard complaining about it being trapped in his coffin.
Didn't he do a bit of singing as well?
His daughter shared the video of the prank, and the reactions on social media have just been like out there. So the guy. Yeah.
I think you're going to hear this more often now.
He's gone viral.
Yeah.
Even after the fact. So, hats off to you.
Yeah, I've got to say, and the crowd, loved it as well.
Yeah, basically. Brilliant.
Maybe I'll watch it laughing the bollocks off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, so we've got... also, this is a good story.
Oh.
Again.
Oh.
So, residents of a small town in Somerset...
Remember Somerset?
Yeah. Yeah, so, if you've been to Somerset in the last week or so, residents in the town of Somerset have been left shaken after a bag of sex toys were discovered.
Lost and found, please.
Dumped at the side of the road. There was a buzz about town of Bridgewater as people tried to work out who they belonged to. Probably accusing every fucking slag in the village. And it's like, fucking, I bet they're that fucking girls down the road. That Tracy down the road. She's a fucking... She looks like the type to have a big bag of dildos. I wonder if she's dropped them. You know what I mean?
Dropped them from where?
Oh, this news story though, hell, you know what I mean?
It's funny, man. Yeah,
so there's a rampant speculation around town about the pink and purple dildos that have been left next to a drain in the rear passage of a branch of NatWest.
What was that? The rear passage?
It was in the rear passage of the branch of NatWest. Richard Lees, who took a picture of the abandoned dildos, but nobody come forward, spelt C-U-M, to admit owning them. I
bet they won't.
As if you would. Do you know what I mean?
Lost and found. I bet they go within a week.
If they did an amnesty, if they put them in a box and just said, like, you know,
there's a box, come in, pick it up and go.
But you never know. Some fucking perverts will be just in there taking one.
Yeah, they might be worn down. No, you know what I mean? They might have been thrown away. Yeah, they don't. Batteries. It's not the batteries this week.
Well, there was up to 10 vibrators discovered among the haul.
Okay, now
varying in sizes. And it's not known if they'd been used or still worked.
Proper leather in it by the sounds there.
On the local newspaper and Facebook page, people shared their seemed to be more bothered about the quality of the paper bag or cardboard box they were contained in.
So what was the quality like?
I don't know. Well, do you know what I mean? It's like, why would you be bothered about that? Why would you be bothered about that, though?
Well, I'd be bothered about that more than the dildo.
Well, do you know what I mean? It's like, obviously, the Metro, where the story comes from, were more bothered about puns.
They were.
In that one.
They were.
Or getting a cheap laugh. But we appreciate it. We salute you, Metro, for providing that story.
Providing us that dildo.
Yeah. So if you were in the Somerset area and you dropped your bag, or you've been burgled and had your dildo stolen from your home.
Hey, yeah, never thought that.
Yeah, because you never know. They could have thought, right, there's a box here. I'll grab that. Yeah. And then they get halfway up the road and go, no, it's a bag of dildos.
Throw that on the street.
That, don't need that. Yeah. And then, like, you know, she might want them back, or he might want them back. I don't want to judge.
Yeah.
But, you know,
dangerous. The dog could have had that one of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it could have killed us. Do you know what?
Yeah,
a child might have found them.
Yeah, imagine a little child standing there, playing around while mum's talking to someone. Yeah,
or lightsaber
I'm Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Darth Vader then.
Mummy, what's this do?
Yeah.
So you know, if you do want them back, contact the local authorities there. I'm sure they'll get them back to you.
Yeah,
and it's something to tell the grandkids in it.
Well, yeah, that's true, Granny.
It could be, you know, imagine that if it was, you know, because, you know, it seems like it's in a collection. It's an accumulation.
It does.
It's obviously been collected.
They were busy
for a while, or just had a bit of an unhealthy obsession.
It might be just someone who's got sex problems. You know what I mean? Randy all the time.
Yeah.
Called Love Eggs Love. Just use them. You'll be all right.
Oh man, so took it too far.
Well, she didn't. So what else you got? Yeah, cheers for that. Nice one.
Sorry, yeah.
Deserved.
Man. What else have I got? Right, we've got a bit of entertainment news because I think we need to move on.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, this episode's been funny.
Yes.
Oh wait, that's not my pad.
No, it's mine. What you get off my
pad?
Get
your pad away from me. Where's my pad?
My pad's there.
Right, okay. Right. Entertainment news. Entertainment news. Not got a jingle for that one.
No, not yet.
Right, so entertainment news this week. Zombieland Double Tap came out yesterday. Have you seen it yet?
No.
I have.
Oh. You seen all of it?
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Better than the first?
Is it better than the first? I would say yes. It is
by
as
much
good.
Or by little?
It's true to the first. It's got the same sort of spirit as the first. I think it's got... it's scarier than the first.
Okay.
Yeah, God, mate. I was literally... Do you know how it made me feel? Like The Walking Dead used to make me feel. Yeah. Like where I would jump out of my chair because I'm so eager for that person to get away from that zombie. Yeah. And when they make stupid decisions, I'm going, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing that for? You know, and it gets me rattled up. Yeah. Right. Now, The Walking Dead used to make me do that. I'd be like diving out of my chair when like
don't give you skid marks and it's not frightening.
People were getting kind of like chased or about to get bitten.
Yeah.
And it could happen. It might happen. You never know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Zombieland delivered that. Yeah. Right. In parts. Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah.
It still kind of had the real comedic value to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the cast have kind of developed. It was 10 years ago, the original, I think 2009.
Yeah, didn't the woman change?
No. Well, Emma Stone, she's in it still. She's won an Oscar since, Zombieland, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, Woody Harrelson has come back.
Yep.
I always forget that guy's name, but he was in social media and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You know the kid.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of him, but he does play that role pretty well. So he plays Columbus very well in that. Yeah. But I always forget his name, to be honest.
I don't need to know it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really. And then the girl who played the younger sister, she's grown up and so. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it. From instead of zombie, because obviously it's been 10 years.
Yeah,
it's gone from Zombie Killer of the Week to Zombie Killer of the Year. And I've got to say, there's Woody Harrelson, I think, pulls off Zombie Killer of the Decade in this film. So, yeah, you've got to go and check it out. Definitely highly recommended.
See, I don't usually watch zombie movies, but...
Love a zombie movie.
Every now and again, there are some good ones out there.
Well, obviously, like I say, it's Halloween coming up. And we've got, Ghostbusters, ghosts. Yeah, people are going to be out there dressing up, doing the Halloween thing. But, I've been trying to have a look for the bits and pieces and a bit of news on the new Ghostbusters movie that's coming out a bit later on in the year.
Yeah.
I think it might be starting filming around now.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be coming out around spring, summer next year, I should imagine. But
can't wait.
Really can't wait for it. I mean, and this what news I found is obviously Paul Rudd has been taken on for a role in there. And there's a bit of speculation to say that he might actually be Oscar or playing Oscar. Do you know the little kid from the original Ghostbusters movies, all grown up? So,
See?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. But like Paul Rudd, he's been doing really well at the moment. He's been coming up and doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I've just finished binge watching his new series on Netflix, Living with Yourself. Yeah.
All right.
And I've seen him kind of doing the circuit on like chat shows and stuff, talking about this new show.
Yeah.
And it kind of piqued me interest, so I thought, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, mate, it was like literally the only half-hour episodes.
Right.
But it leaves you on a cliffhanger every single time. So it's like you can't just watch one. You need to know what happens next.
Temptating for the next one.
It was like, every time I got to the end of the episode, I was like, oh, man, I need to watch this next bit. But then I did fall asleep, but as soon as I woke up, I was cracking on again with it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. It was different, Paul Rudd plays himself twice. Yeah, so this is it. I don't want to spoil it too much. Yeah, right.
He's doing it twice as himself, though.
He plays himself, but from two perspectives, but there's points in it where he's talking to himself. And he's like obviously in the same room, but he actually has fight. He's like is this
Fight Club?
No,
right.
He has a couple of scraps with himself, but the way it's filmed is very clever. And like it's not the first time people have done this. He's obviously been like when Eddie Murphy's done it loads of times where he's been in the same scene.
Yeah.
And interacted with himself, or loads of actors do it.
Yeah,
but this was done in a certain way that just kind of felt real. Do you know what I mean? It felt pretty good.
Yeah.
So, it's called Living With Yourself. It's on Netflix. Definitely recommend you checking that one out. So, have you seen anything recently that you've kind of enjoyed? Or
You know what I've been watching lately?
Go on.
You wouldn't believe what I've been watching lately.
Emmerdale Farm.
No. I've been watching the guy that I was named after, actually.
Oh, go on.
Lee Majors.
Lee Majors?
Yeah, I've been watching The Fall Guy every night.
Oh, right, you've been watching the old school.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah,
okay.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, $6 million man next week.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
so you've been going on to the vintage TV, have you?
Yeah, man. I thought, I need something fresh because most of the shit.
I need something fresh.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like...
And how many times do I recommend you things, but you know what I mean? And then he's like, I'm
going
to watch The Fall Guy.
Same
bit of
old
MacGyver.
Shit, just a different day, innit, generally?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I kind of get interested.
It's the same old plots.
No, well, this is it. I think this is what appealed to me about this living with yourself, because it kind of it looks at science. Oh, sorry.
No,
there's you know what I mean. There's an element of science to it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That wouldn't have been which they probably couldn't have done 10,
back
20
then.
Years ago, or even 30 years ago, and that so it is. In essence, a fresh story, because it's encompassing technology that exists now and has only just kind of been released, or not even been released. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's science fiction, but in a comedy drama sort of format. If you like, it's so in them respects it is different and it is fresh, and I think TV does a good job at kind of changing it up, I think, at the moment, because I think they realise with all the streaming platforms that they do need to invest a lot more money into TV, and especially when people binge watch stuff as well, do you know what I mean?
So, hell yeah.
So, I think it just depends on what you're listening to, watching. Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of like older stuff as well. To be fair,
yeah, I just find some of the older. I mean, I haven't seen a black and white movie for God knows how long, but there used to be some really good black and white movies.
Mate, Clerks.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Clerks is a black and white movie, but it was a budgetal thing, wasn't it? I think more than the fact that it was. We meant it artistically. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not sure, but
don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic films that have been coming out in the last couple of years as well, but, it's getting a bit, stale in certain areas. It's a little change somewhere along the line.
Are you talking about our podcast, or are you talking
No,
about...
I ain't talking about... No.
I'm only joking.
Definitely Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a bit... I mean, they're trying their best, but the poor sods,
To be honest, there is another film that came out this week talking about Clerks. Jane Silent Bob reboot.
Oh.
It's not out in the UK yet, though, so I'm a bit can't wait to see it. And the way he's done it...
No. Why?
The way he's done it is he's doing a kind of a tour with it. And he's put it out in a few cinemas in the States, but it's not gone on a worldwide release yet. So
why not?
I don't know, but
he's trying something different.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to do something a bit different, and he's kind of taking it out there on his own sort of press tour, if you like. So I think he's kind of making it a bit of an event.
Yeah,
and then he's doing a few kind of back to back Jane Silent Bob Strike Back and reboot. Double features in a few different cinemas and doing press, talks in the theatres.
I suppose it's going back to the old format.
Yeah, so he's on a bit of a road show at the minute.
Fair enough.
Actually looking forward to seeing it, to be honest. So yeah, bring it to the UK soon, Mr. Smith.
Very soon,
we hope. Snoochie poochies and snoochie boochies, what all that. Mate, it's such a quote. All of his films are so quotable. That's the problem. It's like you can he's so many memorable moments and memorable quotes from Kevin Smith movies.
Oh yeah, I remember him as Silent Bob.
Yeah, he's very quotable as Silent Bob.
Yeah.
No, it's more like the other characters, isn't it? So
I must admit, I haven't seen much more characters but Silent Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I like what's it? Like Brody and Holden McNeil and, all the other characters, Jay and even kind of Dante. Randall's my favourite character.
Randall?
Yeah, Randall's in Clerks, and he's and Clerks too. He's the video guy. He works next door in the video shop, but he's never in the video shop. He's always in the store with Dante.
Right.
So but he has all the best lines. There's a scene where like a woman comes in with a kid and she's like, I want to rent this video, Happy Scrappy Hero Pup or something.
Right.
And he's like, well, I'm on the phone to the distribution place now, so I'll get him to order it.
Yeah.
So he goes, hello, right, is this the distribution house? Right, I'd like to order one of each tape. So he starts listing all these movies, but he's like, right, I want All Holes Filled.
I like it.
Fucking Rim Job 2. Fucking literally reads the whole list, and it's like a list of about 20 titles. And then this woman with a kid has stood right there, and he's like, he goes, oh, and what was that other one? But he'd remembered literally that whole list, but couldn't remember Happy Scrappy Pup. Do you know what I mean?
Businessman,
Well, it's just, he has all the best lines in it, but like, I think Kevin wanted to write that for himself, that role, but then couldn't be asked with the dialogue or remembering all the lines, so went to a Silent Bob thing because he could still direct.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So there you go, my history, my nerdy knowledge of Kevin Smith.
I know it.
Yeah, sorry, my audio's playing up tonight. I think I feel like I'm a bit rusty tonight. The audio's dropped out, me backing track, so we're just gonna have to do with the silence, unfortunately. And but I will work on getting that back up. What else? So go on. What we're gonna do some.
We're going to do some stories now.
So we've got some NASA news, I think, first.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we've done entertainment news now. We're on to NASA news.
Yeah.
So go on.
Well, I've heard from NASA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called me directly. Saying that looks like they're making a new space station a little further out.
Right.
So they can start messing with elements, because, like, with gravity... it stops us from doing certain things, like taking certain parts of metals and putting them together with other metals.
So like make alloys and stuff.
Yeah.
So what?
Basically, to get more technology.
So they're going to do more experiments with combining metals.
Yeah.
So and other elements,
stuff like that. Yeah.
But they're going to do that out in space.
Yeah, because there's no gravity to stop them from doing these kind of processes.
I'm just going to assume that's going to end up here with a big blown up space station at some point.
Well, no, I don't think
they're going to mix. Right, okay. So we can mix plutonium and some other shit.
Oh, I don't think they go that far.
Well, they're out in space, so they're not going to blow us up. They can only blow themselves up, which is
the moon base,
that's a safety element. That is.
They go to the moon base.
Well, they'll just
the
blow
moon
the
base
moon
and
up.
do it there.
The moon base. Which one?
The one near us.
Is that the one that they blew up and stole from the aliens?
Yeah. Well, they had a big fight. Yeah.
I think we're going to go way over tonight, on time, but it doesn't matter because we've got extra as well.
Yeah, we don't care.
We're doing extra as well. Well, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Fuck it, man. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Do you know
Boris
what?
Johnson can go back to Europe and ask for an extension. Then
we can have an extension as well.
Exactly. We can do what we want. Balls to you. That's what I say.
It's my fucking podcast. All right, do what I like.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
so back off.
Well, we've got 45 minutes left, so fucking sweet.
Tea and cookies.
Sweet. Right. Well, we've actually got stuff to talk about. So, NASA news. So so you're telling me about this this space station?
Yeah, it's a new project to.
And when's that gonna be up and running by then? Do you reckon?
I reckon by around about 2022, 2025, something like that.
Well, they want to be up in space by 2020. Well, they want to go back to the moon by 2024.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I've got a bit of NASA news. NASA astronauts complete first ever all-female spacewalk.
Woohoo! Yeah, about time they found another suit.
Because it's late as night. and the feeling's right in space. So they've been out in space, having a bit of fixing some stuff.
Yeah.
Completed the first ever all-female spacewalk. 2
Yeah,
NASA
good
astronauts
girls.
have embarked on the first female spacewalk in history. And now they're saying that the first human on Mars may very well be a woman.
What about dog?
Well, no, I think a fucking giraffe.
Rabbit.
Parakeet. What's one of them?
Parakeet.
Yeah, is that it? But is yeah, all right.
Yeah. All right. What about shag?
No, we'll have a lady. We'll have a lady go.
Why not? Why? Sing
It
kids.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'd love for the first person. I think in terms of equality, you know, everyone wants equality and stuff. If we've had a man on the moon, let's have a woman on Mars.
Hold on then.
But apparently,
hold on then.
Women are from Venus, so.
Yeah, so what are they doing on Mars? That's a man's place.
So what you're
That's
saying,
a
women
man's
should
area.
go back to Venus? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, go back to Venus. We'll be at Mars.
All right, then. Well, no, that's a really cool idea, actually. Why don't we have a space race, where it's first one to get to the planet wins.
Oh.
Like, you can go, right, okay, ladies, you head to Venus, we'll head to Mars. First foot on the ground wins.
I forgot to tell you, didn't
Go
I?
on. No, have we forgot?
NASA has sent up a competition.
Go on.
To write a ticket with your name on it and take it to Mars for you.
All right, sweet, we'll do that.
If you win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it the other day. It was like, got to do that.
I want to do something with those weather balloons. Do you know, though?
What are you talking about, you weirdo?
I want to send something up into space.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you want to send up to space?
Well, what I was thinking was maybe doing something like a bit of a competition for the listeners, right? And I was looking at, do you know those weather balloons where you can kind of fill them up with helium?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hold on. Don't they go to a certain height and then all of a sudden they go pop?
yes, they do. Yeah. So what I was thinking about doing was sending up a weather balloon, right?
Yeah.
To extreme altitudes. But what we do is we get our fans to enter the competition.
Yeah.
Right. And then everybody who enters, we put their name and the ticket on a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Or on a card, something with a bit of weight on it.
Yeah.
Right. But not too much weight.
Like
We
a
want to be
brick.
able to take something like a piece of cardboard or a ticket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. With their name and with a phone number to us. Right.
Yeah.
And the first person, so we send it up in space.
Yeah.
Let it pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or high altitude.
Yeah, I was going to say when actually you reach space.
No. Yeah. But then the tickets will rain down.
Yeah, into the sea.
Just wherever. We'll try. Well,
what's going to happen if it?
It's the first person to get a phone call back with that name on wins.
Okay, what did he win?
I don't know yet. I've only just thought of the competition recently. So
all right, then.
Something that I was thinking about anyway. Let me know if you think it'd be funny and what you'd like to win.
Yeah.
And don't say Ferrari.
Yeah, all money. It's got to be less than £1.
No, we'll think of something.
Right.
Or the honour of having your name go to space, is that not good enough? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
and the fact that we're amazing
come on,
that.
we've just clarified it. It goes to space. It goes to the upper atmosphere and then bursts.
It goes up your ass, atmosphere.
Yeah, well, Uranus.
It's such an atmosphere.
It's not going to Uranus.
Right, anyway. Yeah. NASA Mars 2020 mission is going to be a lady.
It's a go.
Lady in space. Lady on the Mars. So, yeah. Also, NASA have unveiled their new spacesuits to be worn by a woman as well. First woman on the moon. So.
Oh, no, this is a bit sexist now. This is getting a bit sexist. I bet when
maybe it's because like
Europa,
they do all that Pilates and stuff. It's like they've got the right stuff nowadays. They're a bit more in physical.
You say man's got not the right stuff?
Some of them.
Well, yeah, but some women.
But some women have, exactly. Yeah, and it just so happens that these women with the right stuff are the ones they've chosen to go to the moon. What's the problem with that? Do you want to go?
I'll go. Yeah, if you pay for the ticket.
Are you trying to tell me you've got the right stuff?
I've got more than the right stuff, and it's about time I went back home.
Oh, right. You go back to the moon.
Yeah.
Right, we best move on anyway, because we've got some ghost stories to get on with. And to be honest, we're running out of time. We've got 4. Yeah, so, right, okay. So,
Go on, Mouth.
what?
Go on, Mouth. Get going.
Motor mouth?
Yeah.
Why? What's my motor mouth about?
You just run your mouth.
I run my mouth all the time. I don't.
Yeah, you do, and we love you for it.
What do you mean? You mean I'm chatty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
A bit of a chatty.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm trying to do 20 things. Oh. What's going on? What? Oh, I don't know what's going on, man.
I'll tell you what, all the electricals lately have been
fucking hell. Everything's going mental. We're so professional here at Never a Straight Answer. It's
We are. I'm laid back with tea bags on my eyes.
What?
Tea bags on my eyes. Lay back, nice and cool, relaxed.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Well, you're not, because I can see you.
Yeah, but they can't.
Shit.
You let my secret out.
Right, okay. Way, and we're back.
We're there.
Oh my god, then that wasn't even... Do you know what? If I can't even do this...
What's the sheer bit going on, man?
I don't know, mate. Everything's going a bit Pete-tong, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, right, okay. Yeah, so we'll want to do this, but, we'll want to do some kind of, like, spooky. So,
yeah.
Hang on.
Spooky.
Here we go. We're into spooky territory now.
Oh, here we are. What's this?
So, yeah, it's close to Halloween.
Who time?
And we thought we'd tell you a couple of ghost stories. And then we've got quite a lot to choose from because, like, I've been reading this book of ghost stories.
Yeah.
And there's quite a lot to go into.
There is.
We can. I'm going to give you a couple of different scenarios here, and you can choose.
Scenario,
And you can choose a category.
Okay.
Yeah. From omens of death,
Oh, that sounds.
ghosts of the famous, ghosts at the time of death,
Oh, that might be interesting.
or phantom hitchhikers.
Oh, I know quite a few phantom hitchhikers. Second to the bottom.
Which one?
The time of death.
Oh, right, okay. So ghosts at the time of death.
Yeah.
Right, no worries.
Well, not for you.
Well,
Or maybe for
the
them.
deaf guy.
Depends what the face looks like, doesn't it?
Well,
Might look like a pork pie being slapped.
so the figure in white. This happened in 1837 in Dorset.
Dorset.
So in July 1837, in the middle of Dorset, 3-year-old Polly Allen, was playing in the garden of her house in Blandford when she saw and asked for her mother to come out and see a tall woman in white who was coming down the hill opposite. She described the figure as coming down through the branch gate and down the hill. Her mother told her that she was talking nonsense and that nobody was dressed in white in the area.
She stoned all
Not on a
over.
working day. But Polly and her sisters went to see if anyone was there. There she could see nobody. At the time when Polly saw the apparition, her father, with 2 other men, had been down white cutting weeds on the river Stour. It was after Polly told her mother about the apparition that the local minister visited as his duty to tell Mrs. Allen that her husband's death. So, although the children reported seeing a tall woman, it was actually her father who had died. He himself was very tall and had been been seen in a gliding motion that gave the impression of a female grace. The Lord of Halifax concludes his story with a point that he says may or may not be relevant. some 6 or 7 months after, he was drowned. John Allen came home one night from Blandford in extremely low spirits, and as soon as he got into the house, he sat down and cried bitterly for more than an hour. When his wife asked him what was the matter, she replied with, I had seen that witch told him he should not be here long. So he saw a witch and told him that he wouldn't be here long. And he never would describe his wife. And he would never describe to his wife what he had seen that night. But after that evening, he suffered a particularly low spirits. So he'd been told by the witch that he was going to die, and then obviously he'd been down cutting this white weed, and was covered in it, and then died, and then his daughter had seen a tall white figure
near where he died,
coming home down the hill. So that was the story of the figure in white. It was not very well done.
There's quite a few figures in white, though, isn't there, over the history?
Yeah, loads of them.
In buildings and stuff like that.
So go on.
Oh, I got one. There was a woman who used to play with her uncle. Called Pretty Princess.
Right.
And they used to have like these rings. Now, the uncle died when she was a little girl.
Right.
So at the burial, she had put this special ring in the coffin. So everything went right. Everyone's seen that she'd put this ring in the coffin, and it was an individual ring, special identity. So then she went back home, and then around about 2 weeks later, she woke up one morning, went to her dresser, and the ring was there. How did it get there? Yeah. It wasn't a copy of a ring. It was,
how did it get there?
Well, you tell me, because the spirits ain't telling me.
I don't know. Well,
spooky.
I've got a story about haunted objects. So I've got this one. The Pottery Cottage. This happened in 1982, just a year after I was born. And it happened in Greater Manchester, as well as Las Vegas, USA. The haunted cottage might seem to belong to a section of a haunted building. But in this case, the cottage in question is in fact a small pottery container, which might be used to hold biscuits or other small objects. This story starts in Bolton in Greater Manchester, when Mrs. Hilary Spencer was visiting her Aunt Jean on a trip from the USA. Hilary caught sight of a small cottage in the corner of the room, and she basically, which her Aunt Jean visually displayed.
Yeah.
She asked if she could have it, and her Aunt Jean said she was most welcome to it. It was very clear that Aunt Jean was glad to be rid of it, and basically ended up taking it back to the States. Mrs. Spencer put the ornate object on display in her bungalow in Las Vegas and used it for her storage household items such as stamps, pens, shopping lists and so on. But very soon Mrs. Spencer noticed that a strange shadow lurked from the bathroom door, which was open in the corner of the living room. Then, once or twice, she saw a ghost of a man walking through the house, and she was focused on the pottery cottage as she kind of felt the presence.
Yeah.
When Hilary's daughter, Billy, visited, she often said how much she liked the cottage, but once the occasion when she had been kind of spooked by it, she ended up basically passing it on to her.
Yeah.
all of a sudden she started seeing figures and ghostly shadows beside her. But Billy was more fascinated than actually afraid. On a later visit, when Billy had again commented on how much she liked the cottage, obviously this was when she said she could have it.
Yeah.
And very soon after getting the pottery cottage, Billy began seeing anonymous shadows and ghostly figures. She tried to eliminate the haunting by putting various different objects into the cottage, but nothing worked until she decided to empty it completely. From that point, she was basically experienced no more problems, no more hauntings, and no more shadows. It seemed that the figure living inside the cottage didn't have enough room, and the empty container had been needed for the wandering spirit, leaving the spirit to wander outside.
Ooh, spooky.
So what do you think of that? Do you think like objects can be
There is a saying about how
someone who dies as the evil part of themselves go into the thing they're most.
Do you think so? Because I think when people can have attachments.
Well, it could answer. It could be on a scientific way an answer if you can prove it, but it's the proving part that's going to be the difficult part. But I don't know, because it's a big subject, isn't it? Ghosts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all kinds of spirits out there, and friendly to evil to nasty bastards.
Have you got another one?
I have got a surprising one, actually.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I like it. Have you ever heard of the internet?
I've heard of the internet. Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty new, but I think it's taking. It's going to take off.
Haunting.
No.
Haunting.
Oh, an internet haunting.
Yeah,
no, I've not heard this one. Go on.
2014. So 2014 on Reddit, a guy called Nathan had put up a post that he had a girlfriend 2 years earlier who had died in a terrible car accident.
Okay.
And his Facebook sent a message to him saying hello, and he was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
What, on the messenger?
Yeah, there's the only two people who've got the password are him and her mother.
Oh, right.
So 13 minutes later, it happens again, and he asks the question, "Who is this?" And no more reply. That was it. So he went and rang the mother and said, "You playing a practical joke, blah blah, this, that, and the other." And then yet again, it come up hello. So it persisted for a little while. So then all of a sudden he gets another message, basically saying freezing. So he's like, what? And then a couple of minutes later he gets another message saying, "Yous let me walk." So he's like, what's going on here? Someone's fucking about here.
Yeah, someone's messing me about here.
Yeah. So then he starts getting pictures of him, but then when you can target someone, like, you were in my picture.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
tag him.
Yeah. She was tagging him, and she weren't even in the picture. Yeah, certain areas. So then he got a last photo of him leaning back on his chair, looking at his screen on his computer.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So it was like, hey up, there's a bit of fucking weirdness going on here. So after that post, it stops. Nothing else would have heard more. So as the people were looking into it, thought this is it's a practical joke, blah blah, this and the other. So a couple of people decided from Reddit, I'm going to investigate this. I'm going to check this out, see if this story's true.
Yeah.
So the weird thing was, so they looked at for about the accident, and they found one. And the weirder thing was, it wasn't a girl who had died there. It was a guy called, what's his name again? Nathan Anderson.
Okay.
So that's where the story ends. But they all decided, who was reading it on Reddit, that this was the guy who died 2 years earlier, who'd sent these messages that he was getting from Facebook.
Right.
And was sending it on Reddit.
Right.
Which made it doubly weird. When I first heard it, it was like, that's fucking that's mad, man.
So it was coming through 2 channels? Like...
Well, no, what he was basically saying is Nathan was writing about a story on his girlfriend,
right,
who had died 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
But it ended up looking like it was him who died 2 years earlier and sent all these Reddit messages.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was like, what the fuck's going on there? And it's the first haunted story of the internet.
Internet haunting. Yeah. There you go. So I've got this story for you, talking about warnings and things. This one's about a warning from the back seat from a hitchhiker. Oh, was she a ghost? So in January in 1976, a young woman hitchhiker in France turned out to be a phantom hitchhiker. She was on the road when 2 men from a town nearby were pulling their car through its paces in a particular testing of its performance and speed. Seeing the hitchhiker, they pulled over and to give her a lift. It was a little 2-door, so they had to get out and put the seat back and let her in. So it was a bit of an effort, obviously, and he gets back in and they close the door and they carry on their way. Burning round country roads and corners. Showing off. The girl remarked on how fast they were going and basically said, people in the area had had accidents, and been killed, so could they slow down? So, taking the young girl's advice, he slowed the car down, reached over the back seat to reassure her, to notice that the seat was empty. So, their phantom hitchhiker had gone.
Two-door car.
So it's often the case in these stories where it's impossible that the hitchhiker had been able to get out of the car. She couldn't have got out without, obviously, the seat going forward. So the original source of the story was in a magazine out of France, and it basically said that it was basically came from a group of stories that were around about hitchhiking spirits and stuff like that. Yeah. So obviously, do you think that might have been somebody who'd passed away in an accident?
Yeah, possibly.
And was warning other drivers.
Possibly. Yeah. Well, it worked.
Well, he slowed down, didn't he? Yeah.
So anything to stop them accidents out there.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Maybe that's it. That's the thing that she took away from it, that she'd help people.
Yeah.
So in the future.
I remember one of a horse.
Oh, go for it.
That used to be, I think it was the A103 or 303, something like that. Basically, it's like a country lane, and people would see a horse automatically just turn up, black horse right in front of him, so they'd stop, swerve, get out, and there's nothing there.
Sounds creepy.
But it slows people right down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but then it could cause accidents as well.
That is so true. But I suppose the horse is going, whoa, slow down, son.
Well, have you got any more? Or
I have. I've got a couple of small ones.
I've got a small one here.
Got one about 2 sisters.
Oh, go for it.
Well, 2 sisters in a bedroom, separated with a gap in between the bed, with a window. And one of the girls kept waking up. Let's call her Claire. She kept waking up in the middle of the night and seeing a stranger standing there in a suit and
a briefcase looking out the window. She could never see his face, but he'd always be looking out the window, facing the window. Wouldn't move or do anything, and he'd be there for like hours, minutes. So then one morning, they both woke up at exactly the same time, and they'd both seen this stranger. And so Claire had said to her sister, like, that it's the first time that she'd ever seen it. And her sister turned around and said, no, she's been seeing it for years.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Strange.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Scary Mary.
Well, I've got one here which is from the 1928, and this happened in Burma.
Oh.
And it was Maurice Collins. So in trials in Burma, Maurice Collins described seeing a ghost of an old woman. He had been working late in the evening when it felt like the building he was in, shivered as if an earthquake.
Oh shit.
His companion with him felt like the movement also, and he was suddenly confronted with a woman who he saw standing on the steps.
Yeah.
They did not communicate, but they looked at each other for a time, and then she passed from sight. Going down the veranda from which they were, there was no exit except from into the rooms. Collins was immediately concerned that he had seen a ghost.
Yeah.
There was no confusion. There was no confusing the ghost with a mortal. It was not your eyes that tell you. You know, he basically said that you could tell from the eyes.
Yeah.
That this was not a living person.
All right. So dead soul or something.
Well, maybe he thinks it was basically his guardian spirit.
Oh, right.
You know, helping him
get
out of the building. So when he asked the locals about it the following day, they confirmed that they'd seen the female ghost bound to the spot by the old kings to guard their treasure. But apparently the woman had been buried alive and her spirit had been trapped there. So Collins asked them why the house shook when the ghost appeared.
Yeah.
He was told then that it was because the ghost wished to attract Collins' attention. When he asked how she had done that, they replied it was the house that shook. It was the altered mind, not the house. So she basically shook him shook his attention rather than shook the house.
Yeah, when you were saying it, I was thinking, well, shaking, you've got that shaking feeling. And like, yeah, we do have mini earthquakes and that, but I'm expecting now near the end of it that he shakes again and then comes out of it.
Yeah, maybe, but his companion felt it as well.
Yeah, which makes me think like, you know, going into reality changing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like how
doing something to the
how
head.
Could a poltergeist or an apparition move something? So they'd have to think. Maybe use a different method of communicating or getting your attention. Like you know, like when you get that feeling of walking over your grave or goosebumps. It's a case of that's you know. And a feeling that you're getting because something's trying to get your attention.
It's a bit extreme though, isn't it?
Or he's with you or near you.
You would have thought flashing lights or, you know, like
you don't know. But like you say, I mean, this is, you know, for Hollywood, isn't it? I mean, it's you watch Ghost and it's all like, you know, a ghost can train itself to move objects.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's been, you know, reported poltergeist stuff a lot. Yeah. We've done the, you know, the Enfield hauntings and a lot of different stuff like that. But it's one of those where it's, you know, you don't know. So it's all kind of like the realms of the unknown.
It's all
never know what's going to go on.
Yeah,
exactly.
People out there looking, but, you know, we just haven't got that little bit, like the little green man. We just haven't got that little bit to just turn around and go back.
There's too much unknown in the world, that's it. So
yeah, and I think we've sort of been slowed down or stopped to look at these things.
Well,
Keep you busy.
Have you got any more, or do you... Oh, I've got one more.
Good.
It's quite a small one. So,
Don't let him tell you that.
The Mary Knightley sighting. Sorry.
Oh.
This was in 1895. The explorer Mary Knightley was bathing alone.
Yeah.
And on the lake.
Yeah.
And she basically she saw something coming over through the forest near the lake. Sure. It was a violet ball of light.
Oh, right.
So it shone violet, and then basically the size of a small orange, which hovered over the beach. It joined with another small ball, and then the two appeared to circle around each other.
Oh.
Mary pursued the ball into the until they escaped her.
Good girl.
But one going off into one bush and one going off into the other direction. Below, and then it went into the lake and then sunk and disappeared.
UFO?
Well, this is it. She claims it was. This was in West Africa. The local natives explained to her that the light was Aku, a devil spirit.
Okay, yeah.
So and that was. But she claims that it was an apparition.
Well,
so
you say tomato, I say
tomato.
It's in the tomatoes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, that's pretty much it for the ghost stories.
Yeah.
So
I think so, Sam.
So I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, tonight's episode's just been haphazard. What can I say?
I think we're brilliant.
Yay!
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah.
So
standard, bro. Standard.
Yeah. Well, if you've enjoyed it, give us a shout. Let us know what your thoughts are. I know. Yeah. Any improvements, we're always willing to make them. Or try. Yeah. Sometimes we just not even asked.
Oh yeah.
Hey. So yeah. Oh God, I've got dry mouth.
Yeah.
So there you go. Halloween is on its way. Get the scary, spooky stuff out the way, and there you go. Ghost stories this week.
Yeah, and concentrate on Brexit.
Next week. Do you know what? And again, this is it. We got the ghost stories, and it was cool. We enjoyed some of them ghost stories, but next week will be a bit more of a deep dive episode. Yeah. We've got a good topic next week.
Deep dive.
But yeah, look forward to it. Episode 59 this week.
Yeah.
How mad's that? 59 episodes. We're getting closer to that 100.
Yeah.
Another live show on its way soon.
I wanted that 69 first, so.
Got some big plans for the live show, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be cool, mate. Yeah, we did it. We managed to pull one off episode 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it pretty well.
Yeah.
But I think we can do it a lot better. Yeah. And we want next time, we want epic amounts of people in the chat. We want people more ringing up, giving us messages.
Yeah.
It lit up actually. It lit up, didn't it? Yeah. On the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was so impressed with everyone's questions and taking it seriously as well.
Phone calls.
Phone calls were brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Like I say, I've got some big plans for the 100 episode party coming up in only.
Oh, we're getting a stripper.
In only 41 episodes.
41 to go, and they're all going to be brilliant.
I know. Hey, right.
Yeah.
Well, I've got some shout-outs before the end of the show quickly. So it's big shout-outs because there's been a lot of people gone missing over the last couple of months, and they've returned to us.
Yes,
so
the
Geekdom Fancast, they've had a bit of trouble. They got banned from Twitter.
Oh, what's going on there?
I don't know. They just had some issues. We've had it before, to be honest. We got kind of kicked off Twitter for some reason. I think they've got some strict rules.
Well, we're still back, son.
We're there. But they're back.
Good.
It does take a bit of time just for them to go through the admin stuff to get you back on it.
Yeah,
but welcome back, guys.
Yeah,
always a pleasure to
big up another podcast.
Listen to you and shout you out.
Yeah, man.
Another big shout out to Swoosh.
Yes,
who's easing his way back into Twitter.
He is.
Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, come
on,
One
of our Patreons. Thank you for all your support. You're a fucking diamond.
Yeah, man. He's been busy with all his pot pies and that.
I know. Yeah, Swoosh's vegan sausage rolls.
Yeah.
We've got a shout out for the WTF AMICOM gaming podcast, and they asked us a question this week. And their question was, what are dreams made of?
Dreams, strawberries and cream.
Strawberries and cream. Well, no, what dreams actually made of Well, dreams happen during the initial sleep stage, which are basically primarily made up of flashes of thoughts and images from your waking life. A lot of dreams might have, you might not remember, some you do.
Yeah.
But sometimes these dreams actually kind of have hidden meanings brought on by your subconscious.
Yeah, there's loads of books out on that. But I've just been looking at a program actually on dreams.
Oh, go on.
It turns out that it used to be that they used to think that when you were a certain wave, into your deep sleep,
that you're on the astral plane.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
totally.
on the dream. But apparently, it's
could
not.
it be flashes of
it's a little further along.
Could it be some sort of flashes of an ulterior dimension, like where you're witnessing parts of all crazy different yous living out different parts of different lives?
Well, you know what? I can't remember because I haven't had a dream in so long.
I do dream. You must dream, and everyone does, but it's a case of recall, and like if you do actually kind of and because dreaming actually only happens in that REM sleep stage.
Yeah.
So, the dreams that you remember, because obviously dreams do happen all the way through.
Yeah.
But when you remember your dreams, you're in that REM state, so it's part way through being asleep and part way being awake. So you're not.
It's about 5 hours in when you're
not
asleep.
exactly when you're not in a deep sleep. Yeah, you're in a kind of half sleep. So you do kind of you're half conscious. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, so good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. There's a lot more science needs to be dealt with it, but that was a really good question.
Yeah, cheers for that. Really appreciate it.
A difficult one as well.
Yeah, I liked it. It was interesting.
Yeah, keep them coming like that.
I like dream stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't generally remember mine. Deep in History podcast. Want to give you guys a big shout out.
Yeah, go on, history.
Also, Assorted Goods podcast.
Assorted Goods, eh?
Yeah.
They got the good stuff.
They got all sorts.
Right,
they
we'll
got
have to see them
in all different assortments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check those guys out.
Yeah, man.
We got a big shout out for Bizarre podcast. Where have you been all my life? You went away. Do you know these guys started? We started around about the same time. I think we were kind of both came out doing like kind of bizarre, kind of weirdness. Yeah, right. High strangeness. Yeah. And they went away for a bit.
They did.
But bringing it back with bizarre news.
Brilliant.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
So
man.
keep crack on. And hopefully we'll get to listen to your show very, very soon.
And don't go away again, or I'm sending Gary around.
Came up with a question. What are you dressing for as Halloween this year?
Oh, that's what I always dress as.
Go on.
Count. I'm the Count. I'm
Chocula.
the Yeah, I'm the king, man.
One.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, I've got the outfit.
Oh, right. You do look like
round.
You could be the Count.
Do both mixes as well.
In fact, didn't somebody say that on the live show? Said that you look like the grandpa from the Munsters.
No, he's a bit short and round. Oh no, he ain't. You might be right. Actually, yeah.
We're gonna give a big shout out. Well, actually, I was thinking I've got like a Jedi robe thing, but I was going to a party and I was thinking it's a toss up between that. But I actually really want a really high quality Deadpool costume.
I'll get one.
I know it's just.
I know there's loads of them,
I'd rather rent one, but like
stinky, though.
Some of them look a bit like I'd rather own one. Let's face it, but I'd like a proper movie quality one. I've seen them online and they're a bit kind of spandexy.
Yeah, you don't want someone else's sweaty bottoms.
Exactly.
You know what
so you know what I mean.
It,
Unless I can get like a proper one, and then I can use it at Comic-Con and stuff as well. So you know what I mean.
What you mean the real good?
I want the proper stuff, man. I want to.
Why don't you make it?
Well, it's one of them, innit? I've not got the time.
We'll get Jay to make it.
Big shout out to the Milk Break podcast.
Yes, Milk.
Also, Tennish podcast, Killer Rabbit. Everyone who it was in the Odd Pod squad. So keep you guys going.
Keep going, boys.
Big shout out to our number one Patreon, Mr. J.
Yes, Jay.
Shout out to Dunk for being my absolute star brother this week and giving us getting me out of the rain and getting me home.
Yeah, just as they opened up, then they saved you.
Big shout out to Micah, not seen you in a while, but get your ass down to the bunker soon.
Yeah.
Also, big shout out to Mr. Crabtree.
Yes,
as
Mr.
always,
Crabtree.
working the night shift. We love you.
Yeah.
And Gareth, our new long distance driver listener, who's just got a new job. Congratulations, sir.
Nice one, Gareth.
Well done.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for listening. You're more than a super fan. We're your super fan fans. Do you know what I mean?
Rocking and rolling, Rubber Duck.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got 1 minute before the end of the show. So if you want to get in touch, you can get us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.co.uk.
Yep.
You can get us on Twitter at NASA_never.
Yep.
You can get merch at Dizzy Jam, t-shirts and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Christmas is coming up, so grab yourself a mug.
Yep,
There's loads of different designs there.
Yep.
We're available on all podcast platforms,
We are.
including iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcast fix.
Yeah.
So like, share, subscribe, tell your friends.
Knock on the door, next door.
That was a spiel. Right, well...
and we're both on Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now.
Yeah, Taylor's on Twitter. What's your Twitter account?
Taylor at NASA1.
Yeah, get him added. Right, yeah. Well, I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
And that's it. We've not got any more time. We'll see you next time on The Extra. Take care. Good night.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.